From here, we flash back to June pacing outside of Luke's apartment building or condo or whatever it is, and she's pacing back and forth. And Luke saunters on up. Hey, Junebug, very very darling. And her response is, "Hey, there's a baby. Well, we're pregnant. We're having a baby. I was gonna I." I was gonna tell you upstairs. I'd set up candles, but yeah, here we are. And like, I loved it too because it was a combination of like this wave of panic that she must have felt, and also like sheer giddiness and excitement. Like, what a wonderful bundle of nerves she was.
Yeah.
It was adorable. It really was. And then Luke's adorable totally topped hers.
Oh my God, his
I
reaction.
couldn't even deal. Like, oh my God, hey, we're having a you and we're gonna love you so much. And I'm like, oh God, Luke, I love you so much.
Yeah, we're having a you.
We're having a you.
My favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, that was...
Oh, it was delightful. And then we get all the squishy baby Hannah memories.
Oh my word, all of those gorgeous flashbacks that we had talked about, like Hannah and like Luke playing in the water at the beach, and like the aquarium that we like,
I forgot about that shot. That was so beautiful.
These absolutely gorgeous shots, and like to know that like that these are these are like the flashbacks that she's having when she's thinking of a happy memory of Hannah, as opposed to like when we saw those shots prior, it was her tenuously holding on to what memories that she had. And it felt like in this sequence with like baby Hannah and like the little fingers, and then like June and she holding hands, it was more of a reconciliation that like these are the happy memories that she has to hold on to, so she must hold on to them.
I thought it was kind of cool how this is the first time that we've actually had flashback memories from her for a while.
Yeah.
We haven't had any except for... No, that was it. Yeah, this is it. This is the first episode we've had flashback things.
No.
Yeah.
So...
Oh,
right?
That's right. At the very beginning. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because at the beginning was her and Luke.
Yep.
And then
think
prior to that, in this season, I don't recall any.
No, I think that flashback to her and Luke in the hotel room was the first flashback that we had, if memory serves. Yeah.
I think it kind of gives you a good indicator, the fact that we haven't had any flashbacks of hers, to make us realize that right now, in the last 6 episodes now, she has been in constant, nonstop motion and high alert. Like, constant. Yep. Like, on top of all the other trauma that she has dealt with for the 3 seasons past. Mm-hmm. You know, she's been on the run. She's been tortured. She's been in prison. She's had to beat a train. I mean, like, you name it. This chick has been through it. And I think that now that she is on this boat and she has this opportunity to stop and think about what is to come, she can actually allow herself to have those memories, and it probably scares the shit out of her too.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
This is very much uncharted territory that she is headed into.
And it's a really good cue as to what's happening in her mind and what has been happening, because we've always seen the flashbacks as her time to go somewhere else, to kind of escape. It's the night. They talk about it in The Handmaid's Tale in the book. And, you know, that's her place. That's her own time. That's the only time she gets, is to herself at night. And she just hasn't had any peace at night for who knows how long. That's a really great point. I had not thought of it like that.
Neither had I. Love that point.
Well, back on the boat, Moira comes to check on her, and Una walks in with all of the fuck you eyes, walks in and walks out without saying a word. And June just needs a minute. Mm-hmm. This was interesting. Like, she really seemed like she didn't know what to do. She's looking in the mirror. At certain points, she almost looked like she was gearing up for a fight. Like, you could tell she was really kind of like, all right, I'm ready. I'm like, you know, yes. She's checking herself in the mirror. And I thought that was kind of adorable too. because even in the midst of all this, I think I would be concerned. If I hadn't seen my husband in like 7 years, I'd be like, do I look like a fucking disaster right now? Like, what do I even look like?
Right.
You know, he used to like how I looked. I don't even know what the fuck I look like anymore. Do I look
Right.
like hell? You know, it's something that's like seems insignificant, but I think it's a completely normal and natural thing if you're in a relationship to be concerned about how you're going to be perceived.
When you haven't seen each other in half a decade.
Yeah, right? And then she hears his voice. And he just comes in, and I loved everything about this scene because there was so much just acting with your eyes. They just acted with their eyes.
And it was all you needed. It was just so much what two people who clearly have such a strong foundation and a love and a trust built in, and also two people who haven't seen each other in 5+ years. And that's exactly how I imagined it would play out. It just was perfect. I just loved the way they looked at each other so cautiously, but so familiar at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Seeing his eyes well up and but immediately he's respectful of the space that she's going to need. Like, he doesn't immediately run up to her and swoop her up. He's just like, he stops and he lets her dictate how their reintroduction is going to go based off of her language and her body language. And like, that right there, Luke, I love you for this. And like, when she smiles, but then her smile drops and she starts to break down and says, I'm sorry, I don't have her. Okay, I'm sorry, it's just me. And she starts to physically break down as well. And that's when he swoops in and immediately just grabs her and holds her, because that's what she needs in this moment. And he just says so reassuringly, like, you're okay. Like meaning like, not as like, you're all right enough, but like, just like, you're gonna be okay. Like, you are safe now. And like, oh God, all of the feels.
All of the feels. When she said, I'm sorry, it's just me, I busted out into tears again.
That's pretty much when he embraces her. I don't think I ever see past that.
Yeah.
Part. If there's more to the show, I'd stop watching at that point.
She got off the boat.
I kind of remember that part, but it's like through like dry heaving, like sobbing, whatever I'm doing. That part breaks me every time when she just kind of breaks and he's just there for her, and it's reassuring and it's comforting and it's everything that we just wanted for June since, at least for forever, but also intensely since the beginning of season 4. If she has just been operating as the only person who's carrying the weight of all of this resistance and trying to keep everyone alive, and she just needs someone to take care of her, and she got it with Moira, and then she gets it with Luke in this reunion, and it's perfect, and she needs reassurance, and he just plays it perfect. I just loved watching these two interact like this, because it's exactly how I feel like they would be in this situation, in these circumstances.
Absolutely.
I feel like this episode is like a fulfillment of vows across the board.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's a good way to put it.
I'm sure that June would see it as she did not fulfill her vows, because in her mind, those vows included bringing the kid back. But for Luke and Moira, they were doing what you usually are vowing to do when you tie yourself to another person, that you're going to be there for them, that you're going to carry them. And right now, like, not only was June carried by this boat, but then Moira and Luke are there to carry her now into this next episode, which is going to be even cooler. I hope.
Man, before we get to that we have that one moment that we've been waiting for seasons, for years. Luke walks June down the boat, and then June pauses at the end of the runway, and she takes a moment. The camera focuses on her face, and you know in this moment that she understands that this, like, she's already in Canadian water, she's on Canadian soil, the whole kit and caboodle. But as soon as she willfully takes that step and she is on Canadian soil. That is it. She will never have an opportunity to get back to get Hannah again. And she takes a sharp breath in and steps onto Canadian soil. And my word, like, what a swell of emotions, because you have this cathartic moment where she's finally going to, like, be safe. Like, that's it. Like, she's on Canadian soil, and, like, you hope that this is it. And, like, you hope that at the very least she'll be granted refugee status, and you hope that, like, she'll be kept safe. But, like, at least, like, she's not in Gilead anymore, like, officially. So there's that moment of joy and a bit of reverie, combined with the notion of, like, her understanding at that same moment that as soon as she steps off that boat, it's closing the chapter, and it's closing that book aggressively and throwing the key out, that she will never be able to go back to get Hannah. Like, that is it. And to take that one step off of that walkway, I thought was probably one of her bravest moments.
There's definitely a sense of finality to it.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing else.
I don't know. It was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, from start to finish. And I gotta tell you, as a vocal and vehement Luca supporter, it was so wonderful to see their reunion play out like this.
I felt good about it. I definitely wanted more. It made me really, really just like, okay, come on, next, because I gotta see how the rest of this reunion goes. I need more.
That's my biggest thing, is it's like, I feel like that scene was perfect in that moment, but I also feel like this is going to be a really, really long road. I mean, we've seen it all with the other characters. When they come back, when they reach Canada, it opens up all sorts of different emotions and new things that they have to deal with. And now we're going to experience it as firsthand as we can, because, like we talked about, this is The Handmaid's Tale, and this is June in Canada, and I am sure that it is not going to be an easy transition.
No, because I mean, she's out of Gilead, but this is not a peaceful time. This is a country in conflict. So you're absolutely right. It won't be an easy transition. And
I even mean just specifically her and Luke. Like, there's a lot that they have to unpack and then learn about each other. There's gonna be, those vows. This is only the beginning, because they have a long road of learning who they've each become through their experiences.
Absolutely. Oh, I can't wait to start unpacking that, unraveling that. And I really hope they get into some of that in the next episode. Any last thinky thoughts? I got nothing either. So that concludes our chat about season 4, episode season 4, episode 6, Vows. We hope you enjoyed if you've listened this long, and we hope that you'll join us next time for season 4, episode 7, Home. Until then, thanks for listening. Bye.